Truth is, we all have a kind of button inside us, which when pressed, we go visiting our early memories. The things that happened, the things that could have happened, things that we wish might even yet come and give us the pleasure that we've missed out on. It is so easy to get caught up with that process, that one fixed idea, and it holds us like an obsession, and we keep returning to it, not once or twice, but over the course of a lifetime. And so we quietly sigh or groan inwardly, loudly or longing for something to lift us into a better, more expansive way of living. And thus the epistle to those early Roman Christians went on and said, we're always waiting for a sense of finding the best God has for us in life. If we cease to wait, we abandon our hope. But many of you no doubt have found yourself saying, we've waited long enough. Hope, after all, is just an empty word. But then the scripture once again heads you off and reminds you that there's also a gift of endurance. So consider for a few moments Hector Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique, composed back in the 1800s. I'm not going to dwell on it for long, because I know many of you will not know the music, but it has 5 themes or 5 movements, and they're so passionate in their anguish and their suffering and in their astonishing hope and recovery that I'd like to talk about it for just a moment. Berlioz and later commentators have put their descriptors on each of those movements. And if you follow them, the music is then locked up in their prescribed boxes. But I think we need to set this music free. Some of you will know Monet's painting of the lilies in the lake. They can remain just lilies in the lake, but they can also be set free. And you can give them your story, your energy, your enjoyment. Our own Elva Jobst, an artist in our midst par excellence, has a similar painting in her exhibition. Just lilies. Until you let their energy and their colour penetrate your consciousness, and they become more than lilies on the lake. So with Berlioz's symphony. Set it free. Set it free from the tags they have placed upon it, each movement. And let the whole glorious sound of this symphony become your music, your story, your experience. So let's try to do that. If you sit quietly beside the lake, beside the painting, out on your balcony, wherever, you might hear some music that evokes your early memories. There is something there that you missed, and you want to return to it. And that thought can become like an obsession in its recurring persistence. Searching for something, searching for someone, searching. That's why I like this symphony. It starts off in this beautiful passion of searching. Searching for a reunion with a person, a reunion with life, a reunion with your very best and greatest moment in your life. Searching for the spirit of life, followed by the anguish that becomes like a throbbing demand. You know the experience. You don't need to hear the music, because you know the experience. And then something intervenes like a gift itself, the gift of life. And you realize that all those memories, even the bad memories, if you turn them over again, they can become beautiful. In the whole mixture and mess of our memories, our mind is such that we can then select one, and it can become a resolution that makes life worthwhile. And so you touch the passion that life opens for you, not only in the memories of the past, but in the moments now that will soon become memories as you proceed into the future. The memories. The second movement then takes that consciousness, that reflection, into the flow of life, where we're living all the time, where we'd like to live all the time, into the flow, into the flourish of life. Berlioz has the person take his or her place on the dance floor of the ballroom. We might transform that into our image, expand our imagination, and imagine ourselves, yourself, going with the flow, lifted into life and feeling part of something bigger than yourself, knowing that in your losses and in your loneliness, life flows with its healing, with its hopeful energy. Because you see, we need to hear again and again that in the midst of pain, your pain, life gives an unexpected gift. Pablo Neruda, in his little poem on the goldfinch, the black-chinned siskin, in the poem he says this: a little yellow god passed between the poplars, flew fast as the wind, and left on high a tremor, a flute of pure stone, a thread of vertical water, springtime's violin, like a feather in the wind. It passed, tiny little thing. The day's pulse, dust, poem. Nothing perhaps, and yet the light, the day, the gold kept quivering. The gold kept quivering. And that beautiful image takes you into Berlioz's ecstasy of his third movement. You see, in life people come together and part. Sometimes in that coming together there is sheer joy. Sheer joy of that good meeting. It may only be a short meeting, like the goldfinch, but it's a meeting. Like two musical instruments talking to each other, playing the music of angels to each other, and then they part. Then there is silence. Then there is solitude. Tender, healing, joyful, idyllic, healing in the solitude. But we know all too well that even though we have those beautiful moments, our obsessions return. Our destructiveness awaits us, as if it knows that our elation and our triumphs will only be temporary. One young man in his early 30s has been through some terrible traumatic experiences. He's through them. They're over. They're behind him. They're memories. But he lifts his head and he says to me, I keep wondering what's going to happen next.